You're going to find this hard to believe because a lot of the internet doesn't believe me, even when I tell you the actual factual information. I've been a really big fan of true crime, and I've been reporting, and researching true crime cases for well over 25 years now. And all of the experience that I have, and I have gone deep into the paint. That means really deep into a case, deep into the paint on a lot of cases. And I've never seen a case like this case out of Idaho with Chad and Lori in this case where they are at this point. And I'm not talking about the 3+ years from the time of actual, they found JJ and Tylee and Tammy, remember, 3 years from that to where we are now, 3 years plus. I'm not talking about that. There are cases that have been stretched out a lot longer from the time of actual, the victim was found and the person was arrested and the pleas were entered and everything else. There have been cases that take a lot longer than that. I'm talking about all of the weird, bizarre stuff that has happened where, let's take, for example, in this case, from the date of arraignment to now, 2023, we're in the month of February now. Judge Boyce has yet to set a deadline for no more motions. You have to be ready for trial. No more motions. No more dragging this out and pushing it out, kicking the can down the road. He still hasn't come up with that date and said, this is it. No more. For the 13th time, ladies and gentlemen, on the 31st, 1-3-3-1, they had yet another closed door hearing. 1 hour and 27 minutes this one lasted, and we have no idea what took place in the actual hearing. You know why? Because they've already decided, Judge Boyce has, that you cannot deal with the information, the facts that they're actually talking about in these closed hearings. You cannot possibly understand. So, we're going to seal them all. And that's what they did. Yet again, they sealed everything. We don't know if they heard any of the motions from Mr. Pryor. We don't know if they heard any of the motions from Lori's defense. We don't know if they heard the motion from JJ's grandparents to, consider, having cameras in the actual court case if it ever does come. We don't know. We know right now today is nothing seems to be going in a way that any other case that I have ever experienced, and I mean that wholeheartedly, I have never seen a case like this. I've never seen a development where everything takes one step forward, 2 steps back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. The entire 3 years of a case. Yeah, some cases start off really, really slow. And then we get a court date. Then we have a jury. And then we have witnesses and testimony and evidence. And eventually somebody is either found guilty or not guilty. Numbnuts and Lori, we don't know if it's ever going to come to that point. We don't know if the cases are going to get separated. We don't know if they're going to kick the can down the road and extend it out and maybe another year from now before they actually start the case. We don't know. We know one thing though. Chad Daybell, Numbnuts, has waived his rights to a speedy trial. Lori has not. And there's some leeway there. And it may very well depend upon when did her attorneys, Mr. Means, and when did her attorneys now, Archibald and them, when did they know that she was actually incompetent? It doesn't mean when they actually sent her off to the state hospital. When they first notified the court that she was incompetent. So you have a right to a speedy trial, to face your accusers within a constitutional time frame. It's usually about 90 days. give or take, because I mean, there might be some external, circumstances like holidays, natural disasters, COVID also would play into it as well, where it would possibly extend it out even further. She wants to, the entire case against her thrown out. Did they hear the evidence on that, or in oral arguments on that on the 31st? We don't know, because again, it's all sealed. Boom! My mind blows. I cannot, again, stress this enough. I've never seen a case work its way through the system like this. I really feel every day for JJ's grandparents and for those who truly lost a loved one in this case and who is affected by this case directly. I really feel for them, because watching this thing in this merry-go-round of take one step forward, 2 steps back, over and over again, has got to be just like a dagger to the heart, over and over again. Will we ever get justice for JJ, Tylee, Tammy, Charles, and, yes, Joseph? Because she killed him. She took away his spirit and everything from him. When she did that to Joseph, it killed him. Just as sure if she took a gun and shot him like they did to Charles. She should be charged with that as well. But here we go again. Nothing new. Another closed hearing. And no justice at all. Will we ever get justice?